You're watching HuffPost Live. I'm Ricky Camilleri, and it's time to get weird. That's right. The executive editor of HuffPost Weird News, Buck Wolf, and associate editor of Crime and Weird News, Andy Campbell, are here to break down the most bizarre stories of the week. Guys, welcome.
We're here to help you.
Please help me, because it's hard to wrap my head around these things. If you think you're old, you won't believe how long a Bolivian man has lasted. A whopping 123 years, if records serve correct. How did he do it?
1890, coca leaves. He chews on coca leaves, doesn't drink. He doesn't eat much pork, though he likes pork. He likes chewing on the coca leaves, and of course, coca leaves related to cocaine.
Right, so but cocaine kills you. How do coca leaves help you survive for 123 years?
I mean, cocaine is highly processed. Coca leaves are just in a pure form. They describe it as a mild stimulant. I've never chewed the leaves myself.
Look at this picture of him. Look at this.
Yeah, he does look like the evil emperor, right?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, he looks really evil, really old. If you could live to be 123, would you want to if you had to look like that?
He was seduced by the dark side.
Humboldt still walks without a cane, though. He's doing just fine.
Yeah. He walks without a cane?
Walks without a cane.
Yeah.
On his
That's
own.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Coca leaves did it.
Coca leaves did it.
So guys,
not whiskey. Nothing else.
Whiskey.
Well, whiskey will come into play later today. Coca leaves if you want to live long. I guess that's the way to do it, right?
Well, why not?
Would you say that cocaine if you wanted to live long? Do it?
Live fun.
Some people look like they've lived long.
After that's a Lohan reference, maybe. Guys, believe it or not, there are fish that might bite your testicles if you're not careful. That's right. Authorities in Scandinavia are warning people about a piranha-like fish called the pacu. Guys, why is the pacu after the testicles, and why do I refer to it as the pacu?
Well, this fish, it really likes nuts, and apparently it finds them in the waters of South America somewhere.
And sometimes
that's not a euphemism for testicles. It likes actual nuts.
Likes nuts.
They look like the piranha. They're actually less deadly and dangerous than the piranha, because if you look at the teeth. Piranha have like the teeth like jack-o'-lanterns, like spiky teeth, but these have like almost more human-like teeth. They're more squared off, but they love crunching on the nuts.
Yeah, and if you're not wearing shorts, you're skinny dipping with your lady, and you're in the wrong waterway. You're done, son. You're done.
The story this week was in Scandinavia. There was a warning put out for this, and they really shouldn't be in Scandinavia. Some sort of fish enthusiast released them into the wild, and this happened last year in Illinois.
Release pacus into the water?
Yeah, and they're not going to live long. They're a warm weather fish, but people they keep them, tropical fish enthusiasts or whatever, and they get out there and munch. Don't wear
testicles.
Don't wear Speedo.
Never going in the water.
Wait, well, hold on. Is it a Speedo, regular bathing suit, or just skinny dipping, style?
I'm just making a Speedo joke.
The warning this week
was about people going skinny dipping.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's don't skinny dip, but don't worry about the pacu if you're wearing a regular bathing suit.
Don't expose yourself in a way that there are nut-like things in the water.
Misplace your testicles for peanuts. And also don't have peanut-sized testicles.
Yes, exactly. That works every time.
There were reports in the last year of 2 fatalities among fishermen due to the bad munch.
They bled to death.
Yeah.
Guys, have you ever heard of a furry? Well, an Idaho man who sometimes dresses like a dog was arrested Thursday after police say he sexually penetrated a cat on several occasions. So that's why dogs are always chasing cats. I thought it was because they didn't like them. So guys, furries.
Yeah, well, first of all, don't dumb down the audience. Everyone knows what a furry is.
That is not true. We did a survey of the newsroom, and a newsroom in New York City did not know what it was. Actually, mostly men.
I think people don't admit it in HuffPost Live newsroom.
No, they all read HuffPost reviews. They know it.
Guys, this is a group of guys right now. It was mainly men who knew what furries were, to let you know. Women were like, what is a furry?
Okay. So it's a community of people, a subculture that dresses up sort of like mascots, except it's highly stylized. This is sort of like an evil sort of Comic-Con thing. Although people in the community, and we've gotten letters from the community, they are very particular about how they come across. Just because they wear fursuits, and some of them engage in sex in these fursuits. So imagine 2 school mascots going at it.
Right.
That's sort of like the sexual porn cosplay, which sort of seems like
and cosplay is the actual category of, there's sort of a subcategory of cosplay, right?
Yes.
There are different kinds of sexual cosplay. There's probably Renaissance sex cosplay, whatever.
Yeah, it's like
wizard,
Jane
wizard
Austen
cosplay.
in a dog suit.
It's like the movie Austin Land, but with furries.
Yeah.
With animal-like.
You get hate mail a lot, though, so we don't want to say that all these people sexualize their animals, right? But this guy, what was his name? Husky Boots? Sparkle Husky or something like that?
Bubblegum Husky.
Bubblegum Husky.
Yeah, well, his
Right.
real name was Ryan Tannenholz, and he's 28 years old. He was charged.
Oh, poor guy.
He was charged with 6 counts of crimes against nature for having sex multiple times with the same cat.
Well, he really, I mean, at least it was the same cat. He was committed. He was monogamous in his bestiality.
So imagine his girlfriend, who also dressed up maybe as a cat, feeling totally showed up by a real cat.
It wasn't enough for him. She showed up. She was like, "Come on, like, look, I'm wearing the cat suit. You don't like me?" And he was like, "No." And then the other cat went by, and he went and followed that.
Well, no word how he got caught, but a lot of times these
Right.
people's significant others will turn them in because they're like, wait, that's a little too creepy. You're dressing up, that was totally fine, but a little
that's
too
so
creepy when
strange.
you
Like,
went for the
how
cat.
do you turn someone in for that?
Yeah.
Anonymous call to the
Wouldn't you just sort of like, all right, I'm out of here.
Things got a
You're
little
gonna have
weird.
you go have sex with the cat. I'm out of. I'm gonna walk away.
It's like the Anthony Weiner principle. Eventually, your private life, no matter how private you think it will catch up with you.
Buck, I'm on this page right now called Wiki Fur, and there is a furry named Buck Wolf.
Yeah, he plays a guitar. He dresses up like a gray wolf, and he's not me.
You say
I
that.
swear that he's not me. He's into Nazi
He looks a
memorabilia.
little like you. If I can just zoom in on this and we can pull my computer up once again. I mean, this
What?
looks a little like you with a big nose and a guitar. If we were to elongate your
Same amount of hair, too.
Yeah, you got the same hair. It's sticking up in the back, Buck.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, if it's not you, they
Weird
sure
is gotta have fun.
Captured what you look like a little bit.
I won't say how my wife dresses up. I'm a gentleman.
All right, you're a gentleman. So, guys, we've all heard of topless bars, but it's usually not the patrons taking their shirts off, unless, of course, you're Buck Wolf. Or Rhonda Beckman, who was arrested in Florida after exposing her breasts and causing a ruckus. So she not only exposed her breasts, what happened here?
Andy,
Well, she not only exposed her breasts, but she ran around the bar screaming, "It's titty time," even after the cops
But it was
came
titty
by.
time, it sounds like, from her
the
perspective.
thing is, like, in many places in New York, you can take your shirt off if you want, if you're a woman. But this is a bar where maybe you don't want to see this woman take her shirt off. And she was being rude to the police. She called the police certain words that I wouldn't use on air.
What did she call them?
Did he call them?
Assholes and whores.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was the F
Those
word
are
in front
okay.
of it.
Those aren't that bad. And the F-bomb we won't drop. But yeah,
Yes.
the other ones, yeah. Assholes and
So
whores.
she was sort of out of control. The
She
police.
called them that, even though she was the shirtless one running around the bar.
Well, yeah.
Talk about.
But I also,
Pot calling the kettle black.
I also think that bar patrons kind of arbitrarily decide the difference between decent exposure and indecent exposure. I think in this case, they decided it was indecent.
You don't want to impose your nudity on other people in a bar.
Unless it's titty time.
Yes.
Which it was for her.
Yeah, it was for, and this is one of the things, right? So people were asking, isn't it legal to take your shirt off? You said in New York it's legal. Why is this specific one illegal?
Well, also on private property, you can
Yeah.
say as an owner, you can't take your shirt off in my establishment. Apparently,
Dress code: no shirt,
No
no
shoes.
service,
Yeah.
no shoes, no.
There is no titty
It's
time with
very
the dress
basic
code.
bar rule.
Right. Also this week in Florida, a recent widow frying up the last of her 10-pound bag of potatoes, it's a lot of potatoes to fry up, found a heart-shaped spud and swears it was a message from her dead husband.
Exactly.
Do the deceased usually do this sort of things? I mean,
They
you guys
send-
are both mediums.
They send
so do the deceased usually
potatoes.
do this?
Yeah, you're up in heaven, and you figure, well, I'm having a great time. I got my halo, got my wings. What do I send the wife, the woman I've been married to for 50 years? How about not a Teddy Graham, but a heart-shaped potato?
Here we have it right here. Let's look at this heart-shaped potato on my computer. We can see it a little bit
This
closer
is really a touching
here.
story because they were married 50 years, just 50 years, and he was 70, and he was from Alabama, and she says he loved potatoes. But this story really says just how much this woman missed her husband, who was suffering from lung cancer.
Oh, well, how long before?
And of course, it's in Florida because all these stories.
Yeah,
happen
all of
in
them,
Florida.
almost all of them.
We're planning something about. Josh Epps is planning something at HuffPost Live about Florida news of the week, and I think you guys. Are
No,
gonna
absolutely,
be a part
we'll be
of that.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like he could have given a better present in the afterlife because you could say, well, he gave her a whole sack of potatoes along with the heart-shaped potatoes, but
Right,
go for a diamond.
Could be a heart. Is it a heart-shaped
a diamond-shaped potato?
Heart-shaped diamond that she found in the dirt. I don't know.
That's true. That's true. But instead, the dead work in mysterious ways, and maybe he only had access to potatoes. Maybe he's in a certain purgatory as a potato farmer,
Potatotory.
Wasn't a
picker,
good
and he
gift
could
buyer.
only send.
You're married 50 years. You don't know what to get your
My favorite
spouse.
thing about these weird news stories is there's so much that you can take from them in terms of what someone was thinking, where they may have been, because there's so much left open all the time.
So much left open for the puns that we write every day.
What would you get, Esther, if you had to send her a message from the afterlife?
Oh my God, a potato probably. I don't know. Chili's. We went there for Valentine's Day.
All right, with the margaritas.
Guys, if you ever wanted to be a G.I. Joe in real life, then you've got to try out the Drive a Tank experience in Minnesota, where you can man a 60-ton armored vehicle that can crush everything in its path. Joining us now is HuffPost senior crime reporter David Lohr, who actually did this. David, before we get going, let's take a look at your video.
Yeah.
David, that's incredible. How badass was it?
Oh, it was awesome. I had a terrific time there. We got to drive everything from tanks to armored personnel carriers, got to shoot a variety of automatic machine guns. It was just a fantastic time.
And what did you think when you guys first saw this video of him crushing a car, when he sent this to you?
I am the idiot editor who assigned him to go there because he had spent like 3 or 4 months covering Jodi Arias,
Right.
and he was going up the wall. Then a couple months on Trayvon and that trial, and he needed a break. And I was like, "How about you drive a tank?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, that sounds great." Basically, isn't that exactly what happened?
David, can I ask you, how much
Yeah.
money did you actually have to pay to do this?
Well, they didn't charge us anything to do it because I did a story on it. But
What?
they have different packages. You can pay anywhere from $300 on up.
Okay, we are actually canceling this HuffPost Live story completely so that we can say we never covered it on HuffPost Live, and I can go to Minnesota and drive a tank over a goddamn car. It's incredible.
Well, I was actually planning on going back, but now that Buck mentioned the thing in New York with ladies allowed to take off their shirts, I might be going there next.
You want a little titty time, don't you? What if you could get titty time with tank time?
And a tank,
Titty tank time.
Hey, you get the best of both worlds there. Maybe that's a new thing me and Buck could start.
Well, guys, we got to wrap up. This has been incredible.
Yeah,
David, thank you for joining us. And before we go, let's do a toast. A Friday end of the day shot for us, guys. What do we
Yes.
we're to the weird news team, but what else?
To
Titty time.
Titty time and tank time.
To titty tank time, guys.
tank time.
Up and at 'em.
Thanks.
Titty time tastes great.
Start the night off right with some whiskey, guys. Los Angeles is coming up next with the rest of your news for Friday evening. You're watching HuffPost Live. I'm Ricky Camilleri, and this has been the Week in Weird.